Welcome back to 21-22 academic session, parents. We are making a small announcement that all of you are muted, and this session is being recorded so we can share it with those parents who couldn't make it, so that you could choose to turn off your cameras. And over to our head of school now.
Hello, everyone. I haven't seen how many of you that has joined our meeting, but I can see that it's more and more as we have started here now. Welcome to our online parent meeting. How we wish that this meeting could have been in real life again, but we have decided to continue to take precautions even this school year because and keep all the routines that we've already have in place. But you're more than welcome to our meeting. And this first part will be done by the pedagogical leadership team. And after it will be approximately 30 minutes. And then after that, you will get into sessions with your homeroom teachers. Yeah. And as you can see, and also we will send this presentation to all of you as well after I think tomorrow. And then you'll be able to read everything more in depth. So we'll not go through everything in detail. So this is the agenda for today. And we'll start by introducing the leadership team of the school here. The PLT, that's the Pedagogical Leadership Team. Like we laugh a little bit because we love our abbreviations in our school. So ISA is the International School of Älmhult. Pedagogical Leadership Team is the first team that we'll present. So we have Eva Silva, who's the deputy head in EYP early year program and also in PYP 1, primary year program 1. And then we have Emily Jönsson, back from her parental leave this year. We're very happy about that. She is the deputy head for arthritis and our PYP 225. And we have welcomed a new member to the PLT this year. It's Alessi. She is the MYP deputy head, mid-year program deputy head. And then Harpreet, still going strong as the PYP primary year coordinator. Another new face is Ujvala Bhatt, not new to the school. She was teaching MYP last year and continues as a French teacher, but now also as the MYP coordinator. And myself, Maria Haglund, and I'm the head of school. So that's the leadership team. Now to a little bit of an introduction, and some of you have been part of this parent meeting before, has heard this before, but I think it's good that we go through again how we are organized as a school. We're a public school. That means that we are owned by the municipality of Älmhult. There are also 5 other compulsory schools in Älmhult. Our school starts with our earlier program when students are 1 year old, but the PYP program starts from the age of 3. And then the compulsory school then starts from PYP 1 to MYP 5. And MYP 5 is equivalent to the Swedish grade 9. It's a little bit different how different IB schools in Sweden are set up. I know that in Helsingborg, for instance, they have a PYP 6 and they end their school with a MYP 4. But here we end with MYP 5 and we also have end the PYP program with the PYP 5 and the exhibition and that program. And what happens after school? Of course, you can choose to go to the Swedish high school and choose different Swedish programs, or you can choose to go to the diploma program, which is the continuum of the mid-year program. In most parts of the world, the diploma program is 2 years, but here in Sweden, they've chosen to have it as a 3-year program and added a Swedish year called the pre-DP, pre-diploma. To give everyone that wants to study at DP a possibility to get that introduction year. It's not to be mixed up with the MYP 5. It's 2 completely different things. If you end at MYP 5, you're often well prepared to step straight into the diploma program. Sometimes, if you've entered our school with a lot of extra need for support in language as a second language speaker, or if you've had some other difficulties throughout the school, then it could be recommended to do the pre-diploma year as well. Otherwise, it's important to make plans quite early of what you want to do after, because if it's the Swedish programs you want to enter, then it's good to focus on having enough Swedish throughout the school year, ISA.
Hello, everyone. This is Emily. And I would like to update you a bit about the COVID guidelines. And as Maria mentioned, of course, we would have hoped not to having to include this slide in this presentation. But it's important that we're still mindful and that we care about each other to take the right precautions. The first one being staying at home if your child has symptoms. And this is really important to remember, all of you. It means that symptoms could be a cough, a runny nose, even small symptoms, and children should stay at home 48 hours symptom-free before returning to school. It's also important to test in case of symptoms in the family so that we can outrule a positive test and be able to come back to school and to work. We, of course, continue to keep distance and wash our hands. And as you can see, we also stagger the breaks. And we have a lot of things in place in school. But it's important for you as well to remember that if you have been traveling or if you plan to travel abroad, that you stay at home for 5 days to quarantine period, and that you take a test in case of any symptoms there as well. One thing that has changed on Thursday last week, because of course we do follow the guidelines and the recommendations by the health authorities, and last week this changed. So it means that in case of COVID in the family, every family member will have to stay at home. So the children can no longer go to school during this time. It's also good if you keep us updated in case of any positive tests in the family so that we can do the needful at school. We do our risk assessments on site, and we also count the number of students being absent every day. And that's why it's also really important for everyone to register the attendance or the absence early on in the morning. So we encourage you all to remember to do that.
Another team that is important for you to be aware of that we have in our school is the student welfare team, which is a multidisciplinary team, so you can have an holistic view of the kid. Part of that team, you will find the head of school, the deputy heads, the program coordinators. You will have counselors who will give the insight about the social and emotional part about the students. They work preventively in the classes and also with some individuals. But that being said, students under 12, we need approval from the parents. But they can always seek up for counseling by themselves and have one talk without parents' awareness. Counselors are not treating students, so in case they need therapy, these situations usually is for BOOP, which means it's a child and adolescent psychiatry, and they should be the ones working with students who need some type of therapy. Part of this team, we also have the special pedagogues who work quite closely with teachers and students, and they give input regarding differentiations and support strategies in the class. And we also have the nurses. Their main role is to work with the vaccinations and health talks. We meet once a week. We put our focus on work preventively and proactively, and we want to ensure the best learning environment for all kids. And when we talk about best learning environment, we mention social, pedagogical, and physical. So here it's some members of the team. We have Shane, who is the MIP counselor. You can read it through later once you get this presentation. We have Sanean, who is the PYP counselor. We have Sarah, who is special pedagogue and EAL leader. She works with PYP 2 to 5. And Effie is also a special pedagogue, and she works from EYP to PYP2. We have Sanne or Suzanne, and she works, she's a special pedagogue and works in MYP. And our two nurses, Anne, who works with all the classes A and B. And we also have Cecilia, who works with all the C classes.
So I'll be talking about social services. It is very important to be aware of the laws that are in place here in Sweden. It can be tricky when we move from other countries and move into Sweden, knowing what we need to know about the laws in place. So out there we've outlined that any child that might be risk of being harmed, we need to report to the social service. This is something that we are obliged to do as a teacher. If there is violence involved, school should not investigate. So the social services are the one who's going to deal directly with the family. Please take note, social services are there to support children and the family. So we've got in the past where parents were scared or where they get phone calls from social services. Please take note that they are there to support you. Parent is not an easy job. We all know that. So they are there to help us and support us for individual families. There are phone contacts that's outlined, 2 phone contacts. If you need support from them, please do call them. Thank you.
And as I said, it's very important for us to think about students' well-being in our school. And if they don't feel safe here, they will not learn at school. So we like to consider that all students are everybody's students. And we have a plan that we systematically update yearly. And you can find it on our school website. We call it the Equal Treatment and Wellbeing Plan. And it's a plan that is in place to make sure that the students are safe and that we also work proactively. We have things that we're doing across the school as a proactive measures, and then also that we have preventative measures if we find out through service, etc., that we have students that are not feeling safe in areas of the school, that we put in preventative measures there. And then in case we do have incidents where students feel bullied or offended, we always have to investigate this. So we have systems in place for the investigation and to see whether there is bullying in place or not. One of our most important investigative tools is the chat card, and you see it there on the screen as well. Because most times when you work here in Sweden, it's not about so much about thinking about the consequences straight away. It's also to figure out the different perspective of children who's been part of an incident, so that they feel heard as well. That's one good way of also building a good foundation where we build on the relationship and on the trust with our students as well. It makes it easier to work with any incidents or conflicts that occur as well, so that they know that they can turn to us. And also, if you hear anything at home that your students are not feeling safe or there are conflicts, let us know, because then we need to collaborate together with you to make sure that it ends as soon as possible. And because of course we understand that it happens, but we always have to act when we find out, and it's very important to do so together.
So I'm going to share a bit of information about fritids, or the after-school curriculum at our school. It's open to students who need to stay in school after school hours, that is after 2:15. And if you parents are working or studying, your child can attend fritids based on your working hours. Children with parents on parental leave can also attend fritids, and then it's 2 afternoons a week until 4:15. We open at 7 o'clock in the morning and we close at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We're also open during school holidays. And if you are not yet registered or your child is not yet registered in Fritids, you apply via the commune or the municipality e-service, and it comes with a cost that is based on your salary. Our Fritids here at the International School of Älmhult, we follow the Swedish Fritids curriculum, but we also incorporate the IB curriculum and focus on the learner profile, unit, values, and we offer a variety of activities and clubs. They can be led either by teachers or by our students in Fritids, and they're planned in line with the curriculum. And we focus on language and communication, creativity, expression, nature, society and games, as well as physical activities and being outdoors.
So like Maria began, we like our short forms. ISAPTA stands for International School of Älmhult's Parent Teacher Association. We've tried to activate it as much as possible last year, and we just had our new parent welcome barbecue last week. Some of you must have attended that. So here's a message from the core PTA members for you, and I'm just going to play that.
Hello everybody, my name is Caroline McGarvey and I have the pleasure of being the chairperson for the ISA PTA. We are a group of parents and teachers coming together on a regular basis to discuss topics and activities we can do which will support our kids and our school and enable them to have a really good experience. We're also here if you have any topics that you would like to raise, so be welcome to get in touch. We do meet on a regular basis and can bring any new topics into that forum. And we're also here to organise events, and here we really would welcome your support to make them truly successful. Maybe a small teaser is to say that we're looking this year to bring back 2 of the events from the past which have worked very well. One being the Halloween event, where we organised a spooky walk through the forest, and many of the children really enjoyed this activity. And the other being the Spring Pet Fair. Obviously, for COVID reasons, we've not had this opportunity for the past year, but we're hoping that this will be able to be brought back in this year. And we very much will need your support to make these activities truly successful. And then to raise the point that we are missing some class parents. We would like to have generally 2 class parents per class. And this gives you the opportunity to support and to get to know your class much better. And if you want to participate in this and have the opportunity to act as a class parent, please connect directly with Harpreet. We do have some vacancies and everybody is very welcome. Have a great year.
Hello everyone, my name is Vandana Pai. I am the treasurer for the PTA for this academic year. My 2 of the kids are studying at International School in Älmhult. My older one is in MYP 3 and my younger one is in PYP 5. As a treasurer, my role in the PTA is to support the PTA with maintaining funds of each classes that are generated through various events organized by the school and the PTA. Some of these events are like a Christmas fair. During spring, there is a school fun fair where in the parent support, funds are generated by creating, selling craft, food, etc. And these funds are then maintained for each class, which are then carried forward. If they are not utilized during the day, they are during the year, they are carried forward to the next year. Through the PTA, we have set in some guidelines on how these funds can be created, how can they be maintained and carried forward, which you will get to know more. Yeah, So kindly connect back to me if there are any questions or if you would like to know more about your children's class funds. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So the names that are coming up now on this video, these are the core PTA members that are also a reference group. So you can connect to any one of them for any suggestions, concerns, or sharing that you want to do to the school or to the PLT, because the PTA core members and the PLT meet on a monthly basis.
Hello, hi, I'm Ujwala, and I'll be talking to you about all that is new for the school year. So the first thing is TripCell program. What is the TripCell program? Well, this is a program for increased activity and safety during recesses. We have selected students from PYP 3 to MYP 5 who would act as activity leaders and design activities with the goal of having recesses full of structured games and laughter for all. It is the program's goal to have all students enjoy school, feel safe, and feel included as a part of the whole school community. Next up is IST. It is a new platform, and this has been launched. But as it is new, we have some startup problems. But what is IST? It is mainly used for absence notifications. As parents, you could notify your child's absence through this platform. Like I mentioned before, it is still in a startup phase. We're working on it, and soon we'll iron out the issues related to this platform. Another one is e-services, which is also a part of the same platform. And this is to encourage, not really encourage, but we want to go paperless, and we want to move all our documentation related to your child, consent forms, any important information that needs to be shared with the school community. We want all of that to move to an online platform. Again, this is a new system and we still have some problems, but we're working together to iron out these issues, and hopefully very soon we will have everything in place. Toddle, with the PYP, you have been using Toddle, but it's going to be new for MYP. We are going to start onboarding Toddle during the second term, that is 2022, so that we are ready to use it efficiently from August 2022. The last one here is EAL structure, English as an additional language structure. The MYP parents have already got the letter sent by the EAL team, but you at PYP, you will be getting a letter soon, Friday, and you will find all the details about how how the EAL structure works. Also, just to tell you about the main details, what we're trying to do is we're testing our students to find out more about their levels, so that we can, once we identify where they are at, we can design a structured program to support them. Thank you very much.
So now a little bit about how you report absences. It's a little bit complicated right now because we're in this process where we're starting this new IST platform for the school. Some of you might recognize IST from Fritids and from EYP, but then you're using an app. We sent home information to you about reporting absences in ISD using the link that we have here on the slide. But we've also seen that ISD has not been up and running the way it should be during the last few weeks. So we have actually gone out with the information as well that for now, until further notice, let's use Toddler and PYP. And then we'll let you know when ISD is functioning the way it should do. It's important that you, like Emily said, also we're putting in counting all the numbers of students that we have here every day, also due to COVID, but also for other reasons, it's important to notify if your child is absent. And it's important to come on time so that they're part of the absence notifications and when the teachers takes attendance. And this is why you report if you're sick for one day or you're home with symptoms. But you can also report absence if it's planned, if you're planning on going on a holiday or something like that. This is not recommended. We want your children to be in school, and that we hope that most of you can take and plan your holidays when it is holiday time. But if things happen, there are special circumstances in your family or something, then you can find it absence request on our school website, and you hand it in to the homeroom teacher. And then, as we see on the top, the reminder that school is compulsory. That's why you have to notify all absences.
So taking off from what Ujjwala and Maria have just said, the various communication and information channels at our school. So of course, as parents, we do understand and we hear you when you say, where do we go and which was the best channel. So of course, it is Toddle and Manage Back for all the curricular updates and all the newsletters and all the announcements. But you see that IST is top on the list, and that is something mainly, like Maria said, for absences, and it is good to mark the absences there. And there is also one part for Free Teens IST Home. So these are the two places where you will definitely begin to communicate the child's absences and other relevant details. Having said that, on Toddle, we do have the messaging system where you get in touch with the teacher directly. And we would encourage you to continue using that and IST at the same time for now to mark the reason for absence so that the teacher is aware and the teacher can know. This is for the time being till we are onboarding IST, like Maria said, and then soon we will actually shift completely to IST, and you will see that you then don't need to mark or let a teacher know if the child is going to be absent via Toddle or Manage Back. Manage Back in Toddle, of course, Manage Back for MYP and soon they onboard Toddle is all about curriculum, and the newsletters that come out are going to be PYP will send out its newsletter in the odd week. So this Friday, like Ujjwala said, you will get the EAL update in the newsletter. And then MYP is even week. So this is when we send out a newsletter for the parents or an update and announcements on the upcoming things. Also, the next channel is emails, and due to GDPR, you might notice that, of course, as a parent, you can type a lot of things, but teachers might be responding very, very cryptically or very, it might sound strange because you've written a long passage and the teachers probably just said, he is not okay, or he will check, or she will, I will check out with her. That's not because the teachers, there's no other reason, it's just because of GDPR. The teachers absolutely cannot use the child's name and cannot share class lists or names of other students and details that can pinpoint a child on the cloud. So this is just for you to know. But of course, get in touch with us in emails, and that is one of our official platforms to communicate with you. We have school phones. You will see them on this website. So when you receive this PowerPoint as a PDF tomorrow, you can click on this link and visit our official website, and all this relevant school phone numbers are given there to connect. But do remember, they are not SMS enabled. That means that you can call us, but do not leave an SMS there. There's no facility for us. So you might think I left a message, but the phones don't collect. So this is a good reminder for you to just keep that in mind. Of course, we have the school website. You would notice that now we have proudly our own website with our own name. Do visit it and have a look and Yeah, it's there. We also have an Instagram account where we give in new announcements, updates, and even work of students sometimes. We have a lot of parent meetings of different kinds, three-way conferences, student-led conferences. We also have some talks in MYP, and of course, the teachers can invite you directly for some sort of meeting. So these meetings, of course, keeping COVID in mind, are virtual right now. They will be via Teams like this, and we hope at some point to invite you into the building to have better meetings. We used to have coffee mornings. That was something that the parents did with a PLT. It was once a month on Fridays. Sadly, we had to stop it since last year. And when COVID goes away, of course, we will resume that. But you can always get in touch with any member of the PLT via email. We also have now initiated Ask PLT sessions. This, of course, like I mentioned in an earlier slide, came from the PTA parent reference group, where they said, oh, parents would love to talk to us. And thank you for, leaving your child with us, trusting us, and you haven't been in the building. So we've started this Ask PLT session. It's 2 per term. And the conversations are usually surrounding Corona and COVID, and if there are other updates. So this one is also initiated by the PTA.
Unmute myself also. So last but not least, I would like to say a big thank you to all parents out there who are using our parking place. So this is a reminder to not park in the drop-off zone in front of the school. This is because it's a big risk when we get emergency vehicles to stop there. Then they can't come into the school building if we have cars that are parking outside. So it's more if you're dropping off, you're staying for a couple of seconds, half a minute max, and then drop your children off, then that's the place to go. Otherwise, you need to go to the assigned parking. And I think that was the last slide. So now, thank you all for listening and for coming to this part of the meeting. Now it's individual meetings with your homeroom teachers that are waiting for you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Just give me a second. Let's get all these parents in. There are like only 4